Do you feel like your relationship is slipping away, that it might be on the verge of ending? It's a question that many of us wrestle with when things start to feel off, but it can be especially challenging to navigate if you're deeply emotionally invested. Recognizing when a partner might be pulling away or considering ending the relationship is difficult, especially when you're caught in a whirlwind of emotions. Every relationship has its unique dynamics and challenges, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution. However, there are certain signs that may suggest your partner is losing interest or their feelings for you are no longer as strong as they once were. Understanding these signs can help you gain clarity and make more informed decisions about how to move forward. One of the earliest and most noticeable signs that something may be off in your relationship is a change in communication patterns. When a partner starts to pull away emotionally, they often become less communicative. Perhaps they no longer initiate conversations or take longer to respond to texts and calls. It might feel like you're always the one reaching out, and when they do respond, their messages feel brief, distant, or disengaged. This shift in communication can be subtle at first, but over time it becomes more apparent that the effort to connect has waned. When communication starts to dwindle, it's a sign that the emotional connection between you two may be weakening. Communication is the foundation of any strong relationship, and without it, it's difficult to maintain closeness. Another clear indication of a relationship in trouble is when your partner stops prioritizing spending time with you. You might find that they frequently cancel plans, seem distracted when you're together, or avoid intimate moments. If it feels like every time you try to make plans, something else comes up, or they simply don't seem interested, it could be a red flag. This change in behavior might not happen overnight, but over time you may start to notice that your partner is becoming more withdrawn, perhaps favoring time with friends, work, or other commitments over time with you. Quality time together strengthens emotional bonds, and when that time starts to diminish, it can signify a growing disconnect. Is your partner becoming easily frustrated with you or picking fights over small things? While disagreements are normal in any relationship, a sudden increase in irritability or consistent tension can signal that something is wrong. They may seem impatient, dismissive, or even indifferent to your needs or concerns. More concerning is when your partner begins to emotionally distance themselves from you. This could manifest as them becoming cold or distant in their responses, or not wanting to engage in meaningful conversations. You might also notice them withdrawing physically, avoiding affectionate gestures like hugs, kisses, or holding hands. These emotional and physical barriers can create a rift that may be hard to bridge, especially if they persist over time. Talking about the future is a natural part of a committed relationship, whether it's making plans for a vacation, discussing career goals, or talking about shared long-term dreams. If your partner becomes suddenly evasive when you bring up the future, it can be an indication that they are no longer envisioning a future with you. They may avoid making plans, change the subject, or express disinterest when you talk about future milestones. This type of avoidance can be particularly painful, as it suggests that your partner might not be as committed or hopeful about the relationship as you once believed. If they're not willing to invest in the future, it's hard to see how the relationship can thrive long-term. At the start of a relationship, small gestures of affection like compliments, thoughtful gestures, or simple acts of kindness help foster a sense of love and connection. Over time, however, you may notice that these things start to dwindle. Your partner may stop complimenting you, be less affectionate, or show little interest in your well-being. They may also stop acknowledging or appreciating the things you do for them. This absence of affection and appreciation can create feelings of loneliness and neglect. When a partner no longer makes the effort to show you love, it can signal emotional withdrawal or a lack of investment in the relationship. Another sign that something may be off is when your partner becomes overly focused on other areas of their life, such as work, hobbies, or personal pursuits, to the detriment of your relationship. It's natural for both partners in a relationship to have individual interests, but if your partner seems preoccupied with everything but your relationship, it might be worth taking a closer look at the overall dynamic. When the balance of attention shifts, and you feel like you're no longer a priority, it can be difficult to maintain a sense of connection. It's important to assess whether this shift is due to temporary stresses or if it's a sign of a deeper, more enduring disconnection. When you're in a healthy relationship, you typically feel like your partner is invested in your well-being and curious about the details of your life. They ask about your day, your thoughts and your feelings, showing a genuine interest in your experiences. However, if your partner starts to lose interest in your life, it could be a sign that they're emotionally checked out. They may stop asking about your day or fail to notice when something is bothering you. This lack of engagement is often a sign of emotional withdrawal, and it can leave you feeling unsupported and isolated. What does this all mean? These signs can certainly be alarming, but it's essential to understand that relationships go through ups and downs. External factors like work stress, personal challenges, or even temporary changes in life circumstances can sometimes cause a temporary distance between partners. That's why it's important not to jump to conclusions too quickly. However, if you've noticed several of these signs over a prolonged period, it's important to address the situation rather than letting it fester. The best way to understand what's truly going on in your relationship is to have an open and honest conversation with your partner. Avoiding difficult conversations may seem easier in the short term, but it only prolongs the uncertainty. By expressing your concerns directly and calmly, you can gain a clearer understanding of your partner's feelings and intentions. This conversation can also open the door to working through any issues together if both partners are willing to put in the effort. Is there still hope? If you're wondering if your relationship is doomed, the answer isn't always clear-cut. While these signs can indicate a shift in the relationship, they don't necessarily mean the end. Every relationship faces challenges, and sometimes a period of disconnection can be overcome with communication, effort, and a willingness to work through difficulties. By addressing your concerns with your partner, showing empathy and finding solutions together, there may still be hope for the future of your relationship. It might take time, understanding, and a lot of patience, but if both of you are committed to making it work, things can improve. The most important thing is to trust your instincts. Be open to having tough conversations, and remember that sometimes relationships go through rough patches that don't necessarily spell the end.